It's time to get past the barriers and the fears of the unknowns that are keeping you from starting an art business. You can do this. You can set up a business that is legit and legal. We're going to break that all down for you today. It's a lot less intimidating than it sounds. We're going to give you actionable steps so that you can start taking action right now. You know I'm dressed for the part because I wore my blazer. Hi, I'm Alana.
And I'm Katie, and we are two self-employed creatives who have joined forces to take the fear out of business. Hit the subscribe button and let's get your biz up and running. In this video, we're gonna go ahead and assume you know what your business will be and how it's going to make money. If you're not there just yet, totally fine, just press pause and go watch our video, How to Make Money with Visual Art. So for those of you with your plan in place, you are ready to start setting up your business, but you might be wondering, oh, how do I do that? Well, the first thing that you need to do is decide on your business structure. The two most common structures for small businesses like the one you're probably building are sole proprietorships and LLCs, or limited liability companies. Let's take a look at a sole proprietorship first. A sole proprietorship is a business run by one person. You. This is the most popular structure for new businesses because it's the easiest to set up and run. It's important to understand that with a sole proprietorship, in the eyes of the law, there is no legal separation between you as a person and your business. Your business funds and your personal funds are all intermingled, so if something happens to your business, it also happens to you. Not trying to scare you here, but for example, if your business were to be sued, you could also be held personally liable for that. Starting a sole proprietorship is easy, so easy that you might have already done it. You actually don't have to file any official paperwork or do any complicated steps to start your sole prop. You just have to start doing business. If you are planning to do business under a fictitious name or a name that's different from your given name, you will need to register a DBA, or doing business as, for that name. You'll want to check with your local registrar to make sure that name isn't already being used, and then follow your local guidelines to file. Quick note on this, registering your name does not mean trademarking it. Trademarking is a whole separate beast. Whoa, that was a crazy little sound I made. Excuse me. Trademarking is a whole separate beast that we don't have time to go into in this particular video, but it is something that you'll want to look into if you're really serious about protecting your business and if you want to avoid any potential issues or even lawsuits down the road. Typically, when you're registering your DBA with your local county registrar, there will be a small fee, but nothing crazy. I think mine was somewhere between $30 and $50. So the biggest points to remember here are sole proprietorships are easy and cheap to set up, but the potential drawback is that your business assets are intermingled with your personal assets. Now let's take a look at an LLC, and again, that is limited liability company. As the name implies, this structure limits your personal liability. I just took a sip and spilled on my shirt, so not sure if you can see that, but we're gonna go on. So unlike with a sole prop, your personal assets are more protected if your business gets into some kind of trouble. Because it does offer more protection, on the downside, an LLC requires more paperwork to form and it's more expensive. Setting up an LLC is different in every state, so unfortunately I can't give you an exact explanation of what you need to do. I can tell you that some states have an annual fee plus a registration fee to operate as an LLC, and others just have the registration fee only. In Texas, where I currently live, registration costs a couple $100 and you don't have to pay an annual fee to renew. As far as paperwork goes, again, it differs, but I can tell you no matter where you register, it's probably gonna be a little bit complicated. Alana and I worked with an attorney to set up our business as an LLC, and we would not do it any other way. Working with a lawyer is totally worth it for the peace of mind that you get just knowing that everything is set up the way it needs to be. And if you're going to be a business owner, it is a really good idea to start investing where it counts. So takeaways to remember about an LLC. 1, it protects you from personal liability. 2, it requires more time and money to set up, and it's best to work with an attorney. It is very easy to start off as a sole proprietorship and then register later as an LLC, so don't feel super pressured to have everything figured out right this second.
Now that you got your business structure in order, it's time to talk about dollar bills. Let's talk about money. The first and most important thing you can do is set up a separate bank account for your business. It's so important to keep things separate. Even if you're doing just a small business on the side, it still deserves its own bank account so you can keep things separate and organized. Getting organized from the beginning will help you. It'll really save you a lot of headaches down the line. Two things that I recommend are, first, to get a CPA. Just do some Google searching, look for a local CPA. Bonus points if you can find one that specializes in working with small businesses. And second, make sure you have a software that you feel comfortable with that will work really seamlessly with the bank that you're using. Getting a software like this will help you keep your receipts organized and help you categorize all of your spending and expenses. So when it comes time for taxes, everybody's favorite, you'll know exactly what to do and you'll be able to work with a CPA to help you fill out all the paperwork. Now let's talk about one piece of paperwork that I highly recommend you get, an EIN, which is an employee identification number. It's basically like a that's my dog making a lot of noise. Are you done? Okay, great. Get an EIN. That's an employee identification number, and it's basically a social security number for your business. That way you're really separating your personal information from your business. So when anyone asks you for a W-9 or things like that, you can send them your EIN and feel secure with your social security number. To register for an EIN, you just go over to the IRS website and fill out the information on there. Now let's talk about everyone's favorite thing, taxes. We're going to talk about tax. So when it comes to taxes, there are two different kinds of taxes. There's income tax and sales tax. And income tax is super simple. Anyone who is bringing in income needs to pay tax on that income. It gets really confusing though because every single state handles it differently. So you want to make sure you check with your state government website to figure out exactly what you need to do, or work with your local CPA. Sales tax is different because it's on the sale of goods or services and it's collected at the time of a sale. For example, if you're at a retail shop and you buy something, there's tax on it. The shop owner then collects that tax and then quarterly submits that to the government. Even some digital products are subject to sales tax. So not to sound like a broken record, but you again want to check with your local state government or your CPA and figure out exactly if your products or services are eligible for collecting sales tax on. This is confusing. Yeah, it's confusing. To add a layer of confusion, every state has a different percentage of sales tax they collect. So New York State and Texas are going to have a different percentage. Some states don't even have sales tax, and I would like to live there, potentially. Sounds like a good opportunity to move there. If you're going to be selling things like having an Etsy shop or greeting cards, things like that, you're probably going to need to be collecting sales tax. So it's a great idea to get yourself set up with a sales tax permit. This gives you permission to take sales tax from people and then submit it to your state government. You can oftentimes be paying quarterly. It just depends on how much income you're bringing in. Let's dive a level deeper and talk about collecting sales tax in different states. I live in New York, so that means I collect sales tax on anything I sell to someone else in New York. If I sell something to you in a different state, I don't need to collect sales tax because I don't live in that state. This might be different the larger your business grows, and remember that these laws are always changing and evolving. So make sure you talk with a CPA, find one that you trust, and then reference your local government website if you ever have any questions. Now let's talk about income tax. Typically, as a small business owner, you're going to file an annual return just once, but then every quarter you'll submit your estimated tax. And this is where a CPA can come in really handy and help you figure out exactly how much you should put aside each quarter to pay for estimated taxes. Of course, if you over or underpay, you'll have to figure that out at the end of the year. There's also a self-employment tax you want to make sure you keep note of. Are you confused yet? Because honestly, doing this video, I confused myself a couple times. We work with a CPA once a year to do our taxes, and then they've given us all the information we need for the rest of the year. So every month I log into my QuickBooks account and I make sure all my ducks are in a row so that when it comes time to file annually or quarterly, I know exactly what we've spent throughout the year and exactly how much money we've earned. Another great thing about working with a CPA is that they can help you maximize your deductions. Your home office or your printer or the new iPad that you bought, all of those are tax write-offs. And so you'll want to make sure all your receipts are organized so that your accountant or your CPA can help you figure out exactly how to file your taxes for the best benefits.
Let's take a look at our starting a biz checklist to make sure you've got this all down. First, pick your business structure, sole proprietorship or LLC, and register accordingly. Number 2, open a separate business banking account and keep really good records. 3, scrub your butt. Number 3, get an EIN or employee identification number from the IRS website. Number 4, get a sales tax permit if applicable and figure out which products or services that you plan to sell will be taxed. Number 5, hire a CPA and an attorney to help you with all of the above and to help you plan for your business's future needs and obligations. I know starting a business sounds really daunting, but when you break it down step by step, it's so doable. We are here to help you with resources like this video, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And let us know in the comments what kind of business you're planning to start. Hope you're feeling excited and ready to meet the day and to go start your freaking business. See you in the next video.
So dramatic. Okay, bye.